Hey man, sorry, I know you're super busy, so I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time out to meet with me. I'm Disney asked me to do this podcast thing, and we've been having different guests on, and I was just thinking it'd kind of feel weird if we did it without you. You know,
Hey,
hey, I'm sorry, just give me 1 second. Yeah,
it's me.
yeah,
I'm the,
what?
I'm the talking part of the horse. This is a team act. We are Chiron. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And what do you think? I got these polka dots on for nothing? You see these?
Well, I thought those were just for comfort,
No,
like a
no,
stylistic
no, no, no.
choice.
This makes the movie magic. This makes the movie. This is how we become one together.
Uh-huh.
We are Chiron.
Welcome to episode 5 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians official podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That was kind of a crazy episode, I'm sure. It was an episode that everyone making it cared very, very much about because of how iconic of an episode it is. We got to see the guinea pig. We got to see Cersei's island. Polyphemus' face reveal, the Sirens especially. It was an intense episode, and hopefully you guys liked it as much as I did. But before we get into the episode itself, I wanted to talk a little bit about someone who I've mentioned before, but I don't think gets the applause he deserves. His name is Roderick Francham, and he is the one who taught me how to walk like a goat. He's one of the first people I ever met, other than the producers and Andrew McElroy, our fantastic acting coach. And Rod is the person who taught me what a goat's anatomy would look like, and he taught me where the heel is and why that would make me be on the tips of my toes, and why I had to squat in a certain way, and why I had to keep my body upright. And he basically made it so that way, even out of post, I could make it look as close to what an actual satyr would look like. And then Eric and his team could just go in and do as minimal touches as they had to. But the reason I'm talking about Rod is because the guest that we have on today is someone who can relate to that feeling very well of being half animal, I guess. And he's someone who I've always admired, and I still feel like a little kid around. I'm honestly very, very nervous to do this episode because he is the coolest guy I've ever known and I've ever met in my life. He is effortlessly talented and confident, and I'm very, very lucky and very, very honored to have him on today, the one and only Glynn Turman. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out, man.
Aryan, thank you. Look at you, man.
Look at you, dude. You still look as beautiful as I remember.
Oh, you're a shameless flatterer. Don't stop. Don't stop.
We started the show a while ago. It's been, I think 4 years now.
Wow, has it been that?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 3 since you've actually been here. But Chiron has seen these kids grow up. He's known Percy for like so long, and he's known all of the kids at camp for a while. But also just you've known us for a while.
Yeah.
And you've been here since we started the show.
Yeah.
How has Chiron seen these kids grow and change, and how have you seen us change?
Well, it's really, really interesting. Because here's what was wonderful about you guys when we first met, and as young as you were 3 years ago, which is a big difference at a certain age between being 13 and 16.
Yeah.
It's a lot happens in the body and the mind. But one thing that's stayed constant with you guys is that you always took the work seriously. As actors, as performers, you were aware of your responsibility of the craft. And I'm a big guy about that. That's what I look for, and that's what I watch for, because I started at an early age, the age of you guys started, 12, 13 years old. So I've always looked for that in young actors, and you guys, all of you, hit it off right away, and Andrew is fantastic, and he works with you guys very well, and I was noticing how you guys responded to him. So my hat's off to him as an instructor, teacher, and to you students who were not joking around, who took it seriously.
Thank you. Part of something else that I wanted to ask you about is, speaking on like how accomplished of an actor you are. This is, I guess at first glance it can be easy to kind of write this off as a children's show, because this is a book for kids who are maybe having a tough time fitting in, or they want to read about Percy and they want to relate with the characters in the book. But someone of your like a veteran actor such as yourself, what made you take this part? Like, what made you be like, no, I believe in this and sign on?
This character I relate to in so many ways. When my wife read it, she said, "Oh, so it's you." First of all, horses that's always been a big love of mine.
Yeah.
I literally raise horses and train them and all that, and I've done that for many, many, many years. About 26, 27 years ago, my wife and I started a summer camp for kids. This is the truth.
Uh-huh.
And, well, I think I've told you this before, but we started a summer camp for kids called Camp Giddy Up. And we've been bringing kids up to our small ranch in Los Angeles for that many years.
Yeah.
And trying to give them life lessons, skills, based on the Western way, cowboy way of life, with good hard work, responsibilities, and taking care of animals and looking after them and realizing what goes into that whole thing, And so here I am, head of Camp Half-Blood, doing what I've been doing at Camp Giddy Up for, almost 30 years now. All of that was just like, well,
it literally is you.
I guess, hey, I'm the one. Huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, it hit home right away.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your horse, Pallone. I know you mentioned him a little bit briefly earlier.
Yeah.
But I would be remiss if we didn't mention your horse.
Yeah.
He's kind of our like Swiss Army knife for this show. He is Blackjack. He's all of the Pegasi. He was background at the chariot race, and he is your like bottom half. Basically.
Yeah. The cool horse. He's trained by Danny. That we just lost him.
Yeah.
Our wrangler, for those of you who don't know, and he was a legend in this town and in the wrangler world.
Yeah.
Even people down in the States know him, and everybody really misses him. But Pallone is a result of his work. And so I had a few horses to choose from when I came up and went to Danny's ranch to pick them. And Pallone just kind of, we grooved, we fell in the groove, we fell into it.
I guess we should talk about how Chiron works. You're basically just wearing green leggings.
Yeah, I got on blue leotards. Cutest little leotards you ever want to see.
They look incredible, by the way.
Oh, they're cute.
They're beautiful. Can we throw to a picture up on screen?
Don't do that, please.
It's a good look.
No.
It is a good look.
No, man. No.
I wanted to...
with the little polka dots on it. The dots that they have to use, to sync up with the blue screen.
Yeah. I wanted to get a pair of my own to wear on this episode.
Hey, but you and I, man, we're in it together. Yeah, we're in this together,
We both have weird CG legs.
Oh my God, those CG legs are something. But yeah. Oh, but no, you know what threw me when I first saw you come out?
Yeah.
With your little horns. Oh. Those horns freaked me out, man.
They're bigger this season, dude. They come up to like here.
Get out. Are you serious?
I saw a concept of what they were going to look like through the seasons. And like season 5, they like curl out. And they're like ram's horns.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And the ears, too.
And we get paid to do this.
Yeah.
To just have fun, man.
It's awesome.
And just make these dreams come true, What else? What better job is there?
I cannot imagine doing anything else. Can you, like, what other job lets you, like, act with a horse?
Yeah, right.
How was it working with Plum? Like, was he good at, like, hitting
Oh,
marks?
yeah, he hits his mark. He does the whole thing, and you know he remembers me season to season. You know, and we come up and we hook up and bond up. You know, I got my grunt from him. You know, that's his.
That is actually a freakishly good impression.
That's his note. That's his note.
He's a good actor. I know. Whenever we all went up to Danny's ranch, Danny used to tell us about, like, they know so much more than you think. Like, he told us his story, like, one time he just wasn't feeling it and he was like kind of in a bad mood, and he got on the horse and he just wasn't talking to them, and he was just going around his, like, just doing his stuff, and he wasn't being, like, friendly or playful with them, and they could tell, and they gave it right back. Like, they would just, like, run away, or they would, like, just be, like, they would just return whatever energy he gave into them.
Yeah, no, the horses are remarkable animals, man. Really remarkable. That's why we use them at camp so much. They're so therapeutic, you know. They can sense unbelievable things. I've seen them change kids' lives, you know, with just in terms of attitude. Yeah.
Over the summer, I worked at a camp. It was like an equine therapy camp.
Oh, yeah.
And they would, like, take kids who, like, you know, maybe had a little difficulty walking, or they were just going through something. They would put them on the horse and just teach them. And I was a sidewinder, and so I would, like, help the kid stay on the horse, and I'd, like, play with the kid, and then we'd help guide the horse around the track.
Right.
And they were a different person coming into that, and they were a different person coming out.
Happens every time.
Yeah. There's this one kid I remember, he was like, he was kind of pissed about missing his birthday. Because his birthday was the day that he was here. And he was just like, yeah, it's fine. It's my birthday. It's whatever. And they put him up on the horse, and they just, like, let him play for an hour. And they took him back down. He was the happiest kid I've ever seen in my entire life. And he's like, you're invited to my birthday party, and I want to bring the horse to my birthday party.
And you get a horse, and you get a horse,
and you get a horse.
Right. I know. No, yeah. No, I've seen it over and over and over again, you know, that horses have changed the lives of the thought process of people, you know, not just kids, but, you know, adults, because they have such an intuitive energy, you know. They can hear your heartbeat. They can feel a fly on their back, you know, unless you know how sensitive they are, as big as they are, you know. They can feel a fly and flick it, you know, so they're really an intuitive animal. And they can hurt you, so you have to be respectful, you know. You cannot, take it for granted, you know. You know, I got dumped a little while ago.
Did you actually?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, you got dumped off the back of one? Or you just
I did something. It's usually your fault.
Yeah.
Usually human error, but, you know, I got dumped. But it's don't panic, Disney, don't.
No horses or kids or centaurs were hurt in the making of the show. Disclaimer.
But as human error, you just have to be aware, you know, of the responsibility that you have as an equestrian.
Well, while we're talking about working with horses, I wanted to pivot a little bit and talk about Chiron's vacation down in South Beach, down in Miami. What was that like to film?
Oh, it was funny. Of course, you know, it's the last thing you would expect of Chiron, you know, and his very, you know,
serious,
British, rigid sort of, serious demeanor, you know. Now he's got shades on, baby, and he's, you know,
he's sipping by the beach.
He's on the beach, you know, he's got a tank, you know. Annabeth.
Chiron, where are you?
I'm in Miami, visiting relatives.
I wanted to talk also a little bit about you working with some of the greatest heroes of, like, the modern age. Chiron trained Achilles, he trained Hercules, Theseus, Patroclus, like all of these, like, great Greek heroes, the ones that, you know, people tell to their kids at bedtime. He trained all of them, and now he's here at this camp training kind of the next generation. And in the books, there's this moment where he tells Percy, I could just be remembering the plot of Hercules, frankly. But there's this moment where he tells Percy, like, I trained all these heroes, and all of them just go out to war and then none of them come back. But I've learned not to like hope, but in you, I see a little bit of hope that you might have like a happy ending. And to me, it's like a beautiful moment. And I know we don't really explore it as much in the show, but did you carry any of that with you? Like, how do you, when you look out onto this like next generation of kids and, you realize that they're training for what is inevitably going to be a difficult life, like, does that weigh on you? Does it affect your performance at all, or?
You draw on as many parallels as you possibly can from your real life situations. Being a steward at Camp Giddy-Up and dealing with kids who've come through, many of whom have had a rough time in one area or another, I've found myself in situations where kids that we had so much hope for and so much invested in, so much time invested in and caring invested in with their parents. Everybody doesn't make it.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't make it. And so when that happens, you realize how much of yourself you have invested in a hope. How much of yourself you've invested in a dream. But that's also at the same time the fuel that you'll need to continue.
Yeah.
Because it's important.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I know what you mean. It is difficult watching Chiron, especially like as you go deeper into the books and you go deeper into the seasons. He, especially like knowing his lineage and that he's a child of Kronos, and that's why he gets booted out of Camp Half-Blood, but he still chooses to fight for these kids, even though he's on Miami Beach and he's surrounded by friends and family. He's still thinking about these kids, and the second he is allowed back into camp, he goes right back immediately. And, while he's away, camp basically falls apart, and I think that's very indicative of how important Chiron is. Like, this season is when camp kind of begins to crumble a little bit, and you can't be there for it. And I think it must have been challenging for Chiron to know that camp is in danger, and it must have been especially difficult knowing that he can't tell Percy about this great prophecy.
Right. And it's the words, even when you can tell, the challenge is always, as someone in a position of authority, or to find the right words to communicate what is important.
Yeah.
How do you find the way to communicate what is best for someone's existence? How do you find the right words?
That's what when you tell Annabeth, like, oh, you can't
lie
to
tell
him.
You can't lie.
And she's like, I can't. I
can't
need
lie.
to tell my friend.
I need to tell him.
But it's the fact that he can't even know.
He can't even know that he can't know.
Exactly, and that's the worst part.
We can't allow Percy to fall into his trap.
What am I supposed to tell Percy? I can't lie to him. Chiron. I can't.
I'm sorry, Annabeth. Not only can you not tell him, he can't know there's something he can't know.
The last thing I wanted to ask you about, I know we touched on it briefly earlier, but we did have Jason Mantzoukas on, and I'm very grateful I've gotten to work with him as many times as I have. He's like it's terrifying how funny he is.
Yes, he is.
And you can never you're always going to be the butt of the joke. You just can't try to one-up him.
Right.
but you have spent more time with him than anybody else on this show. And I wanted to hear from the main source what working with him was actually like.
Well, no, he's, you know, he's a wild man. He's a wild man. If there's anybody he's the drummer in the band, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's such a good way to put him. Yeah.
King. That's what it's like working with him.
But he's also the one that sets the rhythm, and he just
he's the drummer.
drives it.
Yeah, he drives it. He's the drummer.
It has been an honor to be on the show, and let alone it's been an honor to have you on the show and work with you. So I wanted to thank you for just sitting here and talking with me for a little bit.
Good time.
I always look forward to talking to you and seeing you. So
All right,
this has been a blast for me.
Cool, man. I'll see you on the dance floor.
I'll see you on the dance floor.
Welcome to Cece's Island Resort and Spa.
Island. What is this?
Sanctuary. The only sanctuary in the Sea of Monsters. We provide rest and relaxation to get heroes back on track.
I'd like to introduce our next guests, Zoe Neary, our producer, and Jules O'Loughlin, our director of photography. How you guys doing?
Awesome. It's good to be here, mate.
Yeah? I wanted to talk a little bit about 205, which has been a huge fan-anticipated moment. This has been a hugely anticipated episode with the Sirens and the whole perfect world for Annabeth and Cece's spa, and also all of this stuff between Clarice and I in Polyphemus' cave, which...
The perfect duo.
The perfect duo, which I was very excited to get to film. But I wanted to talk a little bit about making the Sirens. Jules, I know you shot that. And I actually wasn't there for like any of it. And so I didn't get to see what that was actually like. I know it was a huge collaboration between like every department. Even all of the Sirens were stunt women, right? And they had to like rig them just so they could stand upright and like move.
Eli was telling me that they had them clipped on like windsurfing bindings so that they would be able to like be flexible and be able to move not as a human from their hip, but actually from their legs. And so that was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
We had the art department actually.
Because they're part of the rock formation, right? The Sirens?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We wanted that optical illusion where you couldn't tell where their body began and where it ended. The art department painted all that rock, and then they actually gave a piece of the wall to costumes so that costumes could perfectly match the color. They brought real seaweed in, makeup effects then had the prosthetics
they got seaweed
that match.
from the marina, right?
Actual seaweed from the marina, and it
Lovely.
stank.
And we had a crab wrangler there.
Oh, we did. Crab wrangler.
We had real crabs in the rock pools, and
We had a crab wrangler.
Disney's very
really
careful about their animals.
Oh, very careful. When we were saying, all right, drop them in carefully, drop the crabs carefully.
yeah, well, I was like, can we cook them up at lunchtime? Like,
We said
can't
no
we
to
boil
that.
some
We
crabs?
said no to that.
No, and I was like, no, Jules, you can't do that.
Speaking of animals, the guinea pigs.
Oh,
dude.
Yeah.
It was like real acting we had to do with those guinea pigs.
Yeah, they're divas.
Oh yeah,
Divas.
and they are divas.
Yeah.
We got Pudding and Mocha are two of the guinea pigs, and we got a note from Grace McLeod, our animal coordinator, about the week before, and she was saying like, all right, you get Pudding and Mocha and you put them in a room and they'll start to chatter, and that's when you know you're about 45 seconds away from them breaking out into a fight. So you have to keep them separated. So we had to reblock the whole guinea pig sequence in the cage to have Pudding on top, who plays Blackbeard, and all the rest on the bottom, so those two didn't interact.
Yeah.
And that's...
It's amazing because I didn't do that. That I wasn't there for that shoot, but I did see the network cut of the episode, and I remember all the conversations in pre about we're going to have real guinea pigs, and I'm watching the cut going, oh my God, are they real? Are these? Like that actually looks like Walker, and it looks like a performance, and so I don't know what you did to those guinea pigs, man, but
They
is
do
top
look
shelf.
a lot like their characters.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
We had something we discovered was that if you feed them different food, they have different eye lines. And so we actually, when you feed them kale, they kind of go, and they sort of look down. And when you feed them carrots, they go, and you could change the eye line. So we'd be like, Percy Pig, give Vanilla the kale. And we'd be like, and he'd be staring right ahead. It was perfect.
Jules, why don't you do that with your actors?
No, man. Well, I thought you were going to say, why don't you eat some kale occasionally. Kale should be outlawed. It's one of those vegetables.
What? Yeah. I love
It has
kale.
no place on this planet.
You like
the way it gets
love
stuck in your
kale.
teeth and
you
kale.
gotta
Don't
like,
get me started on kale.
just put it in a
Let's
pan.
actually, I don't
Oh my.
really want to talk about the show all that much. Let's talk about kale.
Let's talk about kale. This should be called the Kale Podcast.
The Kale Podcast, the Kale Cast.
The Kale Cast, yeah.
It wouldn't feel right talking about episode 5 without talking about Cece, who I know has been like a huge, again, just another anticipated moment of this episode is finally seeing Cersei.
Yeah.
What went into the process of like finding the perfect Cersei?
I mean, Rosemary DeWitt is an amazing actress. And what was interesting is that we wanted to sort of have somebody that had this sort of wellness spa sort of feeling. And she's sort of, there's an allure to her where she kind of, she promotes this, you know, while pointing out how flawed you are, has this sense of like, magical sort of hope that you could get better, and it's almost like this hamster wheel of you trying and
guinea pig wheel.
Guinea pig wheel. But no, she was great because like something we did was her costume and the set sort of had matching patterns.
She like blended into the environment.
Exactly, like she's the master of this world, this sort of, and she's also sort of creating this sort of image that other people are, all these like demigods are sort of, that are on quests are falling for.
Bravery. Stavros thought that my training was for cowards, but it takes bravery to look inward and confront your true self. That is how we sail past the Sirens.
Well, something that I think our production team does better than any I've ever worked with, or just any I've ever heard about, you guys build like a family offset. Like we've stuck with the same crew like through seasons, and like Jules has been with us for almost 4 years now, which is crazy. I thought he would have been fired a long time ago.
Oh, we tried many times.
Yes,
I'm shocked you guys haven't let him go yet. But you guys build like a proper family on this set. Like the entire cast and crew is, again, just one big family.
Well, as testament to what you said, I mean, it's everyone really has come. There's a couple of people that have gone to other shows, but really, I'd say 95%, 98% of the crew have returned, and that's the thing about this show for me is the people. It's such an amazing group of people from cast right through to crew. They're all genuinely gorgeous, wonderful people, and as far as the crew are concerned, they are world class. The actors, I don't know about that. But
I'm
the
still
crew,
confused by some of the actors that we have on.
But the crew, they're all world class crew. Yeah, they're fantastic.
You guys have like the most, I think, interesting departments in the show, and the one that we've. Like all of the cast has spent the most time in. I know Dior did a lot of shadowing under Jules and also under you and Dan. She tagged along as a producer. Charlie just came to set for season 3. He tagged along as a producer. And
I had Charlie with me the other day.
Oh,
Spent the day
awesome!
with
That's
me.
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
what's
fun.
amazing
Yeah?
is how much you guys want to learn about that. Like how invested you guys are in every facet of production, not just in the acting side, but how much you want to see what everybody else does. It's like a huge respect for the rest of the crew, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, well, it also just helps. I think we talked a bit about this, Jules, but it helps like if we know what's happening behind the camera, we don't have to think about it when we're on camera.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's right. Well, remember, it kind of started in season 1 because you guys didn't have a lot of experience, and I thought, like, it was for me, I needed to teach you about where the camera was and where the light is.
Find your light.
Yeah, find
That's
your
the
light,
money
mate.
maker.
Find your light.
Find your yeah.
Which is really important, right? So you can come on and perform and not have any idea of where the camera is, and you're missing the power or the camera can lose the power of your performance. So if you know where the lens is and you know where your light is, technically you can really make a performance even more powerful. And I spent a lot of time on season 1 talking to you guys about that. And the other guys took to it pretty quickly. You, on the other It was
Why do you
like,
think I decided to intern?
like I'd say to my first AC, Tyler, do you think it'd help if I nailed $100 note to the ground? Would he hit his mark?
Probably.
But
The other
here's
day,
the thing. Remember at the end of season 2, I said to Andrew, okay, Andrew, I'm leaving. Now I need you to help Aryan with his camera craft.
Did you actually?
Yeah. And he said, don't you remember that conversation we had? And he said, okay, Jules, I promise I will teach him about that. I'll teach him more about camera. And then when I returned this year for season 3, he goes, Jules, I've spent time with Aryan. I think you'll be surprised. And mate, this season, you know where your lens is.
Really?
You know where the light is.
Damn.
But the thing about you on season 1 was, I think you were getting lost, not lost in the performance, but it was all about your character and all about your performance. And I think that was really important for your learning process.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you've been too encumbered by that's where the lens is and that's where the light is, then I don't think you'd be the actor that you are today. And seriously, I say this without a word of a lie. When I'm watching that monitor and I'm watching your performance, there is so much going on, especially in the still moments. And I think that if you had been overwhelmed by the process in season 1, then you wouldn't possibly have become the actor that you are at the moment.
Like Andrew always calls it. Shout out Andrew McElroy, our incredible acting coach. We have an Andrew tally because we keep talking about him so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he always says, like, you have like a third eye, like you have an audience and like in your mind who's always kind of watching your performance as you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you have to lose that first before you can like really get into acting. And then you can bring it back so you can help yourself out with like, oh, this is where I need to be. This is like, and so I think I kind of learned it, like, I just got rid of it entirely and I had to do that. And now that I've like kind of started losing that, like watching my own performance, I can start watching my own performance again to like figure out where I need to be.
Yeah.
Jules, something I wanted to talk to you about is the difference between, I know you were talking about like, because you've been on the show so much, it kind of eases your worries a little bit. You just know that we're gonna go in and like get it. But you know, things change season to season, and season 1 to season 2, we had a pretty massive change, which was filming on the volume versus filming off the volume.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was filming on the volume easier?
Well, just to explain what a volume set is. A volume set is basically a sound stage that is like, for us, it was horseshoe shaped, and that horseshoe, the walls, were made of LED screens, like TV screens, for use of a better word. And we had a roof as well that was LED screens. So traditionally when you're doing effects work, visual effects work, you would shoot against a blue screen or a green screen. And that green screen would be replaced in post-production, and they would put an image of the Grand Canyon or a river or wherever it may be, or a planet, you know, in there, whatever the environment. Yeah, why not? Because we go to different planets on Percy, don't we?
Yeah, we do all the time.
Yeah. Whereas what the volume is that you create those effects or you shoot the plates before you shoot the scene. So you've got the actors on this stage, and on the TV screen is your environment. One of the environments we had in season 1 was Medusa's cavern. So working with ILM, visual effects company, for a couple of months leading up to that sequence, they created a 3D, a photorealistic cavern, effectively. And so then the actors would come to set, and you guys would be on that stage, and we would have the cameras there, and we were shooting those screens with the cavern playing on them, and it looks, or it should look if you do your job well, as if you're actually in a real cave. And so the thing about the volume, it's very labor intensive going in, so you've got to do a lot of work leading up.
Months of prep of designing it.
Lots of prep.
What was nice about season 2 is we had all these practical builds, and that, I mean, you tell us, like, how nice was it to be working in sort of these real environments, and these, like, we built like that ironclad ship, and all like the rust was like, you know, painted on by our scenic painters. We got to just use a lot of really nice practical elements. I think made the world feel very alive in season 2.
Yeah, so we did move, just to explain, we did move away, as you know, from volume in season 1 to not using volume at all, except for car travel in season 2.
Great Sisters was one of them.
Yeah. But better for you guys, right? Well, actually, when you're in a volume set,
what did you
you're
think
looking
about
at the environment, but they're TV screens, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how do you find it as an actor?
Selfishly, as an actor, I way more enjoy filming like on a real set. The volume stage was great, but it's like, I don't know, it's like a cool party trick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you get there, it's like awesome, but the more you film in it and you're like, man, I wish this statue was real. Because like the depth that you need, it just isn't there for you. Or like when we filmed the Montauk scene, I think part of what makes that fight, the Ares fight, so incredible is the fact that it happens on this huge open beach, you know, and you're in this sprawling like battlefield. Like this entire beach has been turned into a battlefield by 2 people. And that's how powerful these 2 people are, you know? But we're filming in what is essentially like a playbox sand pit. Or a playground sand pit. And it's great, but I don't know, like I can't imagine doing the chariot races on a volume stage. You know what I mean? Like it's cool for certain stuff, especially like car travel. It's great for, and even the Met, it was great for.
The scene with the Minotaur in that fight was great because we wouldn't be able to be shooting a full stunt sequence at night with Walker. And so that gave us good control. That gave us the ability to like rig things. You know, like there's that control of the environment was nice, but it is true what you're saying.
There's no doubt, like as a cinematographer, to shoot, say, a dusk scene or a dawn scene, to do that on the volume set where you could take 2 or 3 days to shoot that, like to do that for real, is a really difficult. You've either got to shoot it at dawn and shoot really quickly, which is not practical on a show this big, or you have to try and control it. And we did one of those last year down at where Percy's on the beach, down at Minardi Bay. You guys are about to head off to the Andromeda.
Yeah.
And that all took
right
place
before the sun comes up.
Yeah, at dawn, and we had to shoot that over 3 days. And that was really difficult to control. And luckily, we're in the Pacific Northwest, is that where we are? Here in Canada, where the skies are usually grey. And so
there's not much sunshine anyway.
So that helped a lot. But and just moving into something else, like the Sirens set. That's okay. So the Sirens was it was a
practical set.
It was a practical set, and there was a lot of discussion about whether we should shoot that on the stage or whether we should shoot it outside. And Dan was a big. He really pushed to have that done outside because he said if we shoot it on stage, then you're going to have to light it. And any kind of day work on stage, it's very difficult to pull off if you're in a day exterior.
Really? Why?
Because lighting just looks artificial.
Yeah.
So I always say if you're going to shoot a day sequence on stage, an exterior day sequence, then make it early morning or late afternoon because you can bring in like warm, hard lights. You can fake the eye much better at the early morning or late afternoon. But if you're under a high sun, a midday sun, and you're shooting that on stage, it is really difficult to pull that off. You can do it in a jungle.
Sure.
Right? We did that.
We do.
Lots of ferns.
We did that. But if you're outside and you're exposed to a sky, shooting that on a stage is really hard to pull off. And so that Sirens sequence, we shot that outside in November in Vancouver. Man, we were smashed by weather. But it looks real. It's under a cloudy sky and it's under real lights. And, you supplement, of course, for faces and things like that.
I think we did that a lot is we really leaned into the elements this season. Like we arranged the whole schedule, and we were shooting things out of order.
Yeah, we shot in a Soyuz.
Just to really make sure okay, we know when Vancouver's going to get rainy. We know how long we have summer, or maybe we want to lean into that sort of overcast look. And we really tried to make sure we were fitting our scenes into the appropriate weather to make use of it. Like, why fight it?
For those who are listening, by the way, Jules like whipped out a ton of fidget spinners. All of our camera crew are like IRL demigods. Because they're all crazy talented and they also have ADHD.
Oh yeah,
and none of them can read either.
Yeah.
No, we like pictures.
And everybody has their favorite, so you can hear.
The soundos hate us.
The entire
Yeah,
time.
the sound's like, what the hell is that? Oh, that's Jules.
Just
with
hid
the
it in
fidget
people's
spinner.
pockets.
Yeah. Surprised you haven't been doing it more on this episode.
On this episode here?
on this episode.
Well, I'm trying to take it seriously, mate.
Thank you.
All right?
I very much
this is your
appreciate
big breakout kind of moment.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to,
I've been told this acting thing isn't going to work out, so I've kind of got to do this. But wanted to thank you guys again for coming on and being
Pleasure.
such great guests.
Thanks, Aryan.
Thank you so
It's been great
much.
to be
Of
here.
course. Watch and listen to the Percy Jackson and the Olympians official podcast, available on Disney+ and wherever you get your podcasts. And don't miss Percy Jackson and the Olympians, now streaming on Disney+.